So today we hear about Zacchaeus and this desire he had. Desire to see Jesus. Think about what we heard in yesterday's gospel, which was just before that. As Jesus is coming towards Jericho, we hear about this man who desires to be able to see. Lord, let me see. And here, this man doesn't really know necessarily who Jesus is, but he's interested, he's drawn, he longs to find out. Think about so often in our lives, when even though we know we're unworthy because of our sins, still we desire to see Jesus. We long to see him. And here this man, he throws away his dignity, climbs a tree in order to see Jesus. And because he gave in to his proper desires, it's not when we give in to our improper desires, but because he gave in to his proper desires, what happened? Jesus came to his home. He called him by name. He says, yes, I will come to your home. And this is for us a great hope. The Lord changed his plans to stay with Zacchaeus, because at the beginning it says, at that time Jesus came to Jericho and intended to pass through the town. But what happened? He stayed with him, because he allowed his desire for Jesus to overwhelm his pride. The great saints say that it is not in suppressing our desires that we're finally worthy of heaven, but rather in expressing our desires, in allowing our desires to fly. Now, of course, very often our desires are twisted, and we got to make sure that they get untwisted in order to shoot us up to heaven instead of bringing us down to earth. But our desires, at their core, are good, even if they do get twisted. And so we have to ask, Lord, help me to untwist my twisted desires, because everything in me that I long for, every desire I have, ultimately is a desire for you. It's a desire for communion with you, a desire to be with you, a desire to see you. And if we let those desires fly, we'll fly to heaven.